Hey everyone, it's Mariana, and today, finally, we are talking about some of my favorite movies of 2018. And maybe a couple of not so favorite movies, just to change things up a bit. No long intros, no disclaimers about this being my personal opinion and all that. Let's just get right into it. Starting things off with most underrated, for me, this has to go to Blindspotting. I've barely heard anyone talk about this one, and that's a shame because this really is a great film. Two friends, one getting through his last 3 days of probation, and the other is, well, he is trouble. Blindspotting is funny and dramatic. It's smart, it's well written, it's well acted, it's visually stunning, and it does not hold back. It's simultaneously entertaining and thought-provoking, and I really hope more people give it a chance because this film deserves to be seen. On the opposite side of the spectrum, most overrated of 2018, and this one might sting because I know a lot of people who loved it, but for me, it's Mandy. Yep. Look, I wanted to love this movie, and it's one of those cases where people talk about it, and I wonder if I watched a different film. Yes, I know we all love Off the Rails Nicolas Cage. I love seeing him go crazy too, but a lot of this movie was so unnecessarily slow and just so weird, but not in a good way. To me, this felt like an overly stylized drug trip, and I just did not enjoy it. Interesting cinematography, yes, but I just don't get the cult following this movie is already starting to get. Biggest surprise of the year for me was Searching. Easily. I did not think this movie was going to be as good or as gripping as it ended up being. When I saw the trailer for Searching, I kind of thought, didn't we already cover this whole computer screen gimmick in Unfriended and learned that it's a pretty mediocre idea? I honestly expected this to deliver some mildly entertaining cheap thrills at best, but man, was I wrong. This is an edge-of-your-seat mystery thriller that actually uses the on-screen gimmick extremely well. It's also the kind of mystery that gives you the clues to figure it out if you're paying attention, but you'll probably be too caught up in actually watching the events unfold. I know I was. Biggest disappointment of 2018 for me was Mute, unfortunately. Why did you have to do this to me, Duncan Jones? I have been looking forward to Mute for a few years now, pretty much ever since I heard it was in the works, and this movie had my name written all over it. Neo-noir sci-fi, a spiritual sequel to Moon, which is a movie I absolutely adore. It was easily one of my most anticipated of the year, but the film just did not work. Aside from the visuals, which were gorgeous, the movie just was poorly paced and didn't handle the story or the characters well. Now, as far as most entertaining movie of the year goes, Upgrade takes the cake for me. This movie is crazy, and that's kind of what makes it great. Upgrade combines action with near-future sci-fi in a very cool way. It's funny, but it also isn't afraid to go a little dark or a little cheesy if it needs to. The action itself is shot so well, the camera work alone makes the film worth watching. Plus, Logan Marshall Green really gets to have fun with his character here. This is not a perfect film, and this is not even the best action film of 2018. I mean, we've all seen Mission Impossible Fallout, right? But as far as entertainment goes, Upgrade is 100% worth watching. Next up, best Netflix release, because Netflix deserves their own category at this point, and that belongs, of course, to Roma. I don't think anyone is surprised by this one. I loved the nostalgic mood Cuarón creates in this film while capturing life with its ups and downs and taking his time to tell this story. He delivers a stunning film yet again, and this time he's actually his own cinematographer as well, which is really impressive if you ask me. This is visual storytelling at its finest, and Roma is one of those films in which every frame could be an art print on your your wall. The most rewatchable movie of 2018 for me would have to be Crazy Rich Asians. This may not be an award-worthy masterpiece or anything like that, but this movie knows what it is and it does its job really well. If you think about it, the rom-com genre is not that easy to do well. Those movies need to be funny and heartfelt, have beautiful but also relatable leads, and they need to be just the right amount of sentimental with a tiny bit of cheese. So many of these films go too far or not far enough, but Crazy Rich Asians is just right. And I can totally see this becoming a rainy day pick-me-up kind of movie for me. My favorite performance of 2018 easily belongs to Toni Collette in Hereditary, and I do think it's absolutely ridiculous that she didn't get nominated for it. Hereditary is not just a great horror film, it's simply a great film regardless of the genre, and it actually was my favorite movie of the year for the longest time. Until a few days ago, I watched something that about killed me, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But Toni Collette is a huge part of why this movie is so amazing. She is unstoppable here in this role. She really gets to show off her emotional range, and the dinner scene alone deserves an Oscar. I'm going to cheat a little bit with my favorite documentary and give that one to a miniseries, Wild Wild Country. I think we can just pretend that miniseries are really long movies. I could not get my eyes off this miniseries. I was absolutely fascinated from beginning to end. I knew nothing about this cult or its leader before watching this documentary, and it's a pretty crazy story that I think a lot of people would find interesting. The interviews here are particularly good, plus there is a lot of great archival footage. This one really came together well and is undoubtedly very memorable. Finally, my favorite foreign language film, and a film that happens to be my favorite of the entire year, Cold War. Guys, this movie. Wow. Cold War is 88 minutes of cinematic perfection. Not a single word or shot is wasted. Not a single moment is out of place. If you've ever been in love, this post-World War II drama will have you under its spell for days after you watch it. I just have to do a separate review for this film sometime very soon, once I find the words, because quite honestly, Cold War left me speechless. And that's it for my top movies of 2018. Now, I know some of you guys are interested in my actual top 10, as well as how I rank the rest of the 2018 movies that I've seen. So I will leave a link for you in the info box below to a ranked list on Letterboxd of every 2018 movie that I've seen so far. I've been doing these lists for a few years now, so if you're interested in that, you can find all of them on Letterboxd. And I do keep them updated. Even after the year ends, I still end up adding movies and re-ranking everything. So check that out if you're curious. Of course, please let me know what some of your favorite movies of 2018 are, and if we have any of the same ones as our favorites. And let me know if there are movies that you're still looking to catch up on, because I know I have a few that I really would like to see as soon as I can. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!